In order to get the maximum pleasure from the afternoon, it is important to stay current with the flow of the day. While the morning was bustling and bubbling, the afternoon may feel more like a long stretch. Staying in the flow will require endurance. Endurance requires embracing reality and finding inner peace with it. If you find yourself feeling bored, ask yourself why. Can you remain present and finish the task you're currently working on without labeling yourself as feeling bored? Just because you might not be doing something that is traditionally exciting does not mean by default that you must be bored. If you have an energy slump, what can you do to shake it? How do you beat your 3 p.m. slump? Or is it at a different hour for you? I definitely fall into the kind of 3 p.m. slump. It usually starts at around 2, but if you saw one of my other videos, you would have heard me say that typically I try to take a little break between 2:30 and 3 my time, and usually that's a time of day when my dad gives me a call. But one of the things that I'm finding that is really working out well for me to beat this 3 p.m. slump is getting up early. And then I can set my day up for success, and then I don't feel like I can't go do something different in the afternoon. So what do I mean by that? I told you already that I typically take a break between 2:30 and 3 p.m. Now, once 3 p.m. hits, I don't necessarily go back into a flow of doing things that are monotonous. And usually we have the most energy at the beginning of our day. So I try to save those kind of boring, monotonous tasks for the first thing that I do when I get up. And that has been the biggest game changer for me in 2022. I've been getting up, my alarm goes off at 5:45. I usually hit snooze till 6, and then I'll scroll on my phone from about 6 to 6:10. And honestly, I'm getting so much more work done, and it's allowing me to set my afternoon up in different ways that keeps me energized. Now, even though my afternoon is looking a little bit different, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm taking a break. I find that going and doing other tasks that are on my to-do list that maybe are a little bit more active helps me break out of that slump. So what do I mean by that? Maybe I'll go with Paul to walk the dogs. Maybe I will clean up the kitchen and put some music on. I find at the beginning of the day when I'm first waking up, I will listen to a lot of classical music and gently wake up, or I'm able to work to classical music because there's literally no lyrics, so I'm not getting distracted. Whereas in the afternoon, I'm definitely listening to genres of music that are very different. But maybe you're a different type of person, and the way that you kind of rejuvenate and come alive again is by slowing down and relaxing and having a cup of tea. You are going to be the person that knows what is going to work for you the best. For me, I typically need to blast some music and like have a little bit of a dance party, but you make that decision. You decide what is going to work best for you. Maybe you're the type of person that this is the time of day where you want to truly take in something indulgent. Maybe you have a favorite YouTuber that you can never watch when someone else is around because they're talking through the entire episode. It sounds like I'm speaking from experience. I am. I love Kylie Favel's YouTube channel. Honestly, everything about it is amazing. But if I watch it, when Paul is home, he ends up talking through all of it. And so this might be a time where if I do feel like I want to just kind of take it slower and really take in something really indulgent, I might have a little bit of a sweet treat, maybe some coffee, and then watch one of my favorite YouTubers. I also love Shay Elliott. I love Angela from Parisian Farm Girl. Their content really provides a sense of escapism, and I love taking in their channel. So it doesn't always have to be that you're going out to get moving and energized. It can be that you are taking in something that is stimulating your brain and exciting you. And I think that's why I love their content so much, is that it just makes me dream. And that kind of wakes me up again. So that's some of the ways that I beat the 3 p.m. slump. Maybe you're somebody that you're wanting to be a little bit proactive when this 3 p.m. slump hits. Why not take on a declutter project? I find it helpful to pick one declutter project of the day. I usually do this in the afternoon, but you can do it whenever suits your schedule. This can be something as simple as checking your hotspots and clearing them. Or it could be clearing out one of the pantry shelves or the bathroom drawer. Take a moment and add love back into your home. There are a few drawers in this house where they definitely have a lot of clutter. One is beside my bed, my underwear drawer. If you are subscribed over on my other channel, you would have seen that I completely took things out of there and have just been growing my lingerie collection from scratch. And I just think there's so many things in the house that we tend to put off, but if you are looking to kind of be proactive, but then also beat this 3 p.m. slump, why not give yourself a project like this? Because you won't leave it half finished. And then I feel like because you have somebody coming home typically at a certain time, maybe you're doing this at 3 p.m. and you know that your husband is coming home at 5 or your kids are coming home at 4:30, etc. It will keep you on task and you'll have to work with some type of urgency, which then will help make the time pass because you're kind of working with haste. Do you menu plan at all? This is something that I'm just getting into. I definitely have made recipes before, but I've never taken a book and then wrote out my grocery list and then referred to that book when I'm cooking until now. And it's such an elementary concept. But I've mentioned before that I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight. My husband and I, we are thinking about going to do IVF, and I want my body to be in the best condition possible. And I had thrown my back out at the end of May, and then I had already put on weight from being stuck at home and not altering my diet for, a year? And then I threw my back out. And so it's only, I would say, within the last 6 weeks that my back has been back to normal. And so with that, I'm trying to be more mindful about the things that I'm eating. And my client Rob, he had got me this book. It's called like the 800 calorie diet or the 900 calorie diet, something like that. And the recipes in it are so good. You wouldn't think that you're eating something healthy. Not healthy, but low calorie. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you try things and you're like, I could tell this is low cal. So why not try menu planning? I'm finding that it's actually making my grocery shop a lot easier because I've been sticking to the recipes in this book. So I know what I need, I know where to go to in the store, and as I make these recipes more and more, I'm not having to refer back to the book. And so it's becoming quite easy. So can you menu plan in the afternoon? I also have heard, I obviously don't have children, but I've also heard that some people who have families, they like this concept of having a menu because then they get to look forward to certain days of the week and what they're having. I think Paul would actually really like that because he's not liking eating the 800 calorie meals. He feels hungry at the end of the day, so there's that. But maybe if he knew what I was making ahead of schedule, he could go get himself some snacks on the days where he anticipates being more hungry. What about chic afternoon pastimes? Maybe this is the time of day where you can write yourself a letter. I've mentioned this in a previous video, but I was given some beautiful stationery that was monogrammed when we got married, and I've never used it because I didn't have a nice pen. I have a nice pen now, so I'm going to be looking at writing some letters in the near future. What about flower arranging? I love having fresh flowers in the house, and this is something where you can really harness your feminine energy and get creative. When I first started arranging flowers, when I first moved to the UK, because I found as a content creator, I was getting invited to a lot of events that were flower workshops, and I was terrible at it. Whereas now, like, I'll make a bouquet and I get complimented on how good it looks, like, not to toot my own horn, because I've gotten quite good at it. And so you'll never get good at it if you don't practice, but this is definitely a chic afternoon pastime that you can adopt. Do you read at all? One of the things that I've been loving in this last 6 months, I've really started reading a lot more, and I feel like if you are sitting here watching this video and you've made it almost to the end of this video, you're probably really interested in this topic. But what I'm finding is that if you're looking at people on YouTube, you're hearing a lot of the same information. I don't know if other people go and watch other people's videos, but I find it's the same regurgitated information. Whereas if you buy a book on a topic, it's typically diving way deeper on a subject. And so I have loved reading. Like, I knew it was good, and you always hear like, oh, you should read. But honestly, I don't feel as lonely, as odd as that may sound. And I get a few messages from you all over on Instagram being like, I want to be a homemaker. How did you get started as a homemaker? And I think you just start. And I think when you are either the head of your household or the woman of a household, and if you have a kind of traditionally set up relationship, then you're going to start taking care of certain aspects of your home. And Honestly, it's kind of lonely when you don't have somebody else to talk to about your interests, whereas you can go pick up a book and feel like you have a friend in it. So that's one chic afternoon pastime that I've been loving implementing. Now, some of the other things that I have written down to talk to you about is you can do gardening. Maybe you don't have a balcony, potted plants are amazing. I'm just learning to, garden and kind of take care of the outside area as much as I'm taking care of the inside area, so that is a chic afternoon pastime that you can implement. What about your photos? I know a lot of people don't print off photos anymore, but for me, I just brought back so many photos from Canada, and honestly, I want to get proper albums, and I want to make one album a year actually. I actually have a film camera that I received as a part of a press pack, and my goal was to take one picture a month. I've already failed for January, but that is something that I'll be working on. What about learning a new hobby? I've been learning Italian for the past 6 months, and it's actually amazing. I mentioned earlier in this video that I love watching Kylie Favel's YouTube channel, and she speaks Italian with her husband, and I'm starting to understand a little bit of it. So why not pick up a new hobby like learning a new language or an instrument? One of the last things that I want to talk to you about that maybe you can start practicing that is a little bit chic, and it's something that you can implement in your afternoon if you're looking to kind of level up and keep that poise atmosphere in your day, is why not learn calligraphy or watercolor painting? I want to learn both of those things so badly, but I'm gonna finish learning Italian, if you can even finish learning Italian, and then I think I will move on to a new hobby. Anyways, my friends, that is it for this video. If you've been loving learning about how we can keep poised at home, then you're gonna wanna subscribe so you can see the next video in this series. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.